Court is in session and calls number 333116, case is style of State of Texas versus Brian Speets. Mr. Speets is appearing via Zoom with his attorney, Attorney Mel Shalander. Mr. Speets, how are you doing?
All right, sir.
And, Mr. Shalander, how are you doing?
Better since it's Friday, Judge.
Okay, that's good. Now, Mr. Shalander, what is your announcement in Mr. Speets' case?
Your Honor, I haven't gotten my discovery yet. So I'm asking the court to reset it for another couple of months to give you an announcement.
Okay, what's the date?
February 2nd through February 3rd.
Okay, Mr. Shalander, this case will be reset to February 3rd, 2023. We will send you your notice, and Mr. Speets, stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Your case is reset till February 3rd of 2023. Your attorney will be given notice and your bondsman will be given notice. This will conclude your case. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Shalander, this is your only case. You're free to go as well, and you have
Yes,
a
sir.
blessed.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, okay.
I'm submitting this, if that's Queen taken. Yeah, that's fine. I'm submitting this.
Okay. Next case is off of our motion to revoke probation docket. The case is cause number 323722, case of South State of Texas versus Sherman Ozine III. If the bailiff, could you please get Mr. Ozine? Yes. Okay, okay. We'll call him back up. Okay. Yeah, just have a seat. Yeah. You had answered earlier.
Yeah, he's here, Your Honor. I visited with him.
Next case is Lonnie Cormier. Court is in session and calls number 326200. Case is style of State of Texas versus Lonnie James Cormier Jr. Mr. Cormier, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Cormier?
Doing good, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Cormier, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Thomas Roebuck. Attorney Roebuck, how are you doing?
Fine, Your Honor. Thanks for asking.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Lamar Johnson. Mr. Johnson, how are you doing?
I'm blessed, Your Honor. Thank you.
And the probation officer representative is Probation Officer Garrett Gilliam. Mr. Gilliam, how are you doing?
Very well, sir. Thank you for asking.
Mr. Gilliam Ms. Roebuck, what is, I mean, and Mr. Johnson, what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, maybe we speak for about 5 minutes.
The attorney,
Certainly,
okay, okay, I'll hold
just for
on,
a moment, if you don't.
Sure,
I'll put a hold on it, okay.
you want me over there?
Y'all can go ahead on in the conference room, that's right. Okay, you can have a seat, the court will be in recess. Okay, the person that's on Zoom that has a telephone, last 3 digits is 611. Would you please state your full name?
Ebony Kioka Ogwen.
Okay, you can put your mic on mute, and then when we call your case up, you can take your mic off of mute. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the court is back in session in cause number 326-200. Case is styled State of Texas versus Lonnie James Cormier Jr. Mr. Gilliam,
Yes, sir. Probation is recommending dismissing TRP. All the charges this was based on have been dismissed.
okay,
They've
state,
been refused.
Refused, I'm sorry.
So yes, the state is moving to dismiss, the motion to revoke probation that we filed.
okay. Okay, okay, you signed, it hadn't been signed yet, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I just signed it.
Okay,
And sent it over.
okay, here it is. Let's hold on to that one right there. This is, let's see. Okay, Mr. Cormier, the state has dismissed, has filed a motion to dismiss the motion to revoke probation. Let's see. I just signed that motion to revoke probation. Now,
It's past discharge, sir.
okay, so you passed your discharge, so that simply means you are no longer on probation. Congratulations for completing your probation. Your attorney has a copy of the order dismissing the case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you.
All right, and you're free to go as well, Mr. Roebuck. You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Next case is cause number 331618, case of style of state of Texas versus Quentin A. Pickens. Mr. Pickens is appearing via Zoom, at least he was.
He is, Judge, it just says Quentin. It's up there.
Oh, okay. Mr. Pickens, you can take your mic off of mute.
Sir,
Okay, Mr. Pickens, I'll state, what's your announcement in Mr. Pickens' case?
Your Honor, staff move to dismiss, in this case on Mr. Pickens, Your Honor. I believe I sent over to dismiss.
Okay, yeah, we have a copy. Did you get a copy? Mr. Pickens, the state has, dismissed your case. Your attorney will be given a copy of the motion to dismiss. This concludes your case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
yes, sir. Your Honor, if you don't mind, can I ask you a question if that's okay, or do I need to speak with my attorney?
You need to talk, probably you need to talk to your attorney.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right,
Thank you, Judge.
all right. You, and I think Mr. Macy, this is your last case.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Next case is cause number 330626. The case is style of the state of Texas versus Emily Kiyoko O'Quinn. Ms. O'Quinn is appearing via Zoom. Ms. O'Quinn, you can take your mic off of mute. Ms. O'Quinn, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
That's good. Now, Ms. O'Quinn, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Joel Vasquez, who is also appearing via Zoom. Attorney Vasquez, how are you doing?
Fine, Your Honor. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Vasquez, what is your announcement in Ms. O'Quinn's case?
Judge, can we have another announcement? Discovery is not complete. If we could have another 30 days.
Okay, I'll give us a date.
February.
Okay, this case will be reset to February 3rd of 2023. Ms. O'Quinn, stay in contact with your attorney. Your attorney
Yes,
will
sir.
be reset date. You're free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr.
Thank
Vasquez,
you, you too.
you're welcome. Mr. Vasquez, this is the only case that you have. You're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well.
Thank you. Let's see if Mr. Sherman Ozine is back. Okay.
Your Honor, my approach, he was here earlier and I visited with him. And we came in, I came in to discuss a possible resolution of these issues with the state, and I don't know where he's gone.
Okay, you have his phone number, you can
I
call
do
him.
not have his phone number. That's one thing I did not get when I was appointed, and he never.
Okay,
called and came out.
you just, you can get the, his bond, does he have a bondsman?
He might.
Yes, Stanley. Yeah, you can have, get him you can give him give his attorney his bondsman's number. Okay, next, we have, Courtney Quibido. This is cause number 324425. Case is style of state of Texas versus Courtney Corrine Quibido. Ms. Quibido, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Ms. Quibido?
I'm doing okay.
That's good. Ms. Quibido, are you represented in your case by your attorney, Don Boudreaux, Attorney Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine, sir, and how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And state, what is the recommendation in Ms. Quibido's case on the motion to revoke probation docket?
Your Honor, the staff dismiss this motion to revoke Ms. Cubido's probation,
Okay,
and I believe that this is what is part of from her probation. Correct.
and she was placed on probation November 9th of 2021,
Yes, sir.
and for 1 year.
Yes.
No extensions. Okay, Ms. Quibido. The state is filing a motion to dismiss this motion to revoke your probation. And I am signing the motion. I'm signing the order based on the motion to dismiss. And your attorney is going to give you a copy of that motion to dismiss your probation, and what that basically, motion to dismiss the motion to revoke probation. And what that basically means is that you're no longer on probation. You successfully completed the probation. You get a copy of the motion, the order from your attorney. Once you get a copy of the order, you'll be free to go,
Thank
and you
you.
have a blessed day.
You too.
Mr. Boudreaux, you can get a copy,
Yes, sir.
and I think this is your only case. You'll be free to go as well.
Only one I have.
Yes. Whose phone is that? It's in the hallway.
Tuesday is there because on the last
Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Next case is cause number 332-640. Case is filed with State of Texas. Tyree M. Frazier or Tyree Michael Frazier. Mr. Frazier, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frazier, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Frazier, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Thank you.
Mr. Frazier, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Frazier? That's good. Mr. Frazier, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Kyle Walker. Attorney Walker, how are you doing?
Doing good, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Frazier, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information
Which is-
was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about May 3rd of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon in plain view. Do you understand what you've been charged with? And they said, well, this information alleges that this occurred in Jefferson County, Texas. Now, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Frazier, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Frazier, there is a set of initials on a line that's titled no contender, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled
Oh.
Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have a discovery certification?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Frazier, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frazier, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Walker, go over these documents with
Yes, sir.
you? And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Walker went over?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frazier, are you a citizen of the United States? State I have before me, States Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and States Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor, it offers take 1 and 6.
No objection.
No objection. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted in evidence. Court will take judicial notice of States Exhibit number 2. Mr. Walker, you advised that counsel, Mr. Frazier, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
Mr. Frazier, your attorney, Mr. Walker, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frazier, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest, the state is recommending that the court defer adjudicating guilt at this time and instead place the defendant on community supervision for a period of 1 year, Your Honor, require the defendant to pay a $500 fine and to complete 80 hours of community service. Your Honor, and in connection with this plea agreement, the state has a motion to forfeit the weapon that was found in this office, which is a Delton Inc. DTI 15 AR style pistol, serial number DTI 5240039. And defendant has agreed to forfeit the weapon.
You have that motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Frazier, I have before me a document that is titled Motion to Forfeit Weapon. Mr. Frazier, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Frazier, before you sign and initial this motion to forfeit the weapon in this case, did your attorney, Mr. Walker, go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frazier, the court is going to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon, in this case, to the Beaumont Police Department. And I'm signing the motion, the order right now. Here you go. Now, Mr. Frazier, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $307, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $807. You also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a year analysis fee of $15 each month. You will also be required to reimburse Jefferson County, the court appointed attorney's fees of $250. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay while you're on probation, is $175 a month. Mr. Frazier, will you be able to pay the $175 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. You'll be required to adhere to the standard terms and conditions of this probation. And in this case, the weapon, the Delton Inc. serial number DT1 5240039 will be forfeited to the Beaumont Police Department. Mr. Frazier, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frazier, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Walker, could you get after Mr. Frazier? Now, Mr. Frazier, if you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney, Mr. Walker, about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Your attorney had just handed you a document that is titled Model Written Ammunition on Ineligibility to Possess Firearm or Ammunition. And in accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, Section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you or warns you of the following. Number one, you are by entry of order or judgment ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code Section 46.03, A, firearm means any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have, as an integral part, a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are a starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292, Magistrate's Order for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.0131, Notice of persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code, Section 46.02, Unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code, Section 46.04, Unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code, Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse or neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code, Section 85.026, warning on protective orders. Now, Mr. Frazier, that copy of the model written ammunition on ineligibility to possess firearm ammunition is for you to keep. You're gonna stand on the X near your attorney. You're gonna follow the directions of our court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Walker, once you sign the paperwork, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Judge.
I need to. Okay, just stand on the X, Miss.
Place your right thumb on the blue square.
I'm adding something on the judgment. I'm adding something on the judgment and say who the gun is being forfeited to.
And if you'll sign the black box right there in front of you. Yeah, we didn't have that on the.
Yeah.
Plea paper. The Walker will sign. If you'll raise your right hand. Please swear that you've never before been given birth to taken a regular probation for felony or misdemeanor or any other state. You better swear nothing else. So you're about here, directing probation on the property, you go there this morning after you get your, have contact with the school in the county.
Okay. Okay, I just signed it. What I did, what I wrote in, that's what I added on the judgment. Okay. Mr. Bailey, please give Robert Brimberry. Court is in session in cause number 330282, case to style the state of Texas versus Robert M. Brimberry or Robert Mark Brimberry. Mr. Brimberry, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Brimberry, you are represented in your case by your attorney Dustin Galmore, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Galmore, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Galmore, Mr. Brimberry's case is set on the court's announcement docket. What is your announcement in Mr. Brimberry's case?
Yes, Your Honor, we're still collecting the evidence and reviewing it. We would like one more announcement date.
Okay, Mr. Galmore, this case will be reset to February 3rd to give you an opportunity to complete your discovery and to review it. Mr. Galmore, your reset will be sent to you. Mr. Gurnberry, you can get a copy of your reset here in court. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Please stand on the far X in front of our court coordinator. Once you get the reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Galmore, is this your only case?
It is, Judge.
Okay, you're free to go as well. Your reset will be sent to you and you have a blessed day.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. You too.
Thank you. Yeah, get Angelique Coleman.
She's present outside, Judge.
Okay, okay. Coleman, come forward. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session and calls number 332854, case to style the state of Texas versus Angelique Sade Coleman. Ms. Coleman, is that your full name? How are you doing, Ms. Coleman? I'm doing fine. Thanks, Ms. Coleman. Would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Coleman, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Coleman, you may put your hand down. Ms. Coleman, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge.
Mr. Reynolds, do you waive a record in Ms. Coleman's case?
Go away.
Ms. Coleman, I have before me a document that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This document is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about April 5th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Ms. Coleman, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Ms. Coleman, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Ms. Coleman, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Ms. Coleman, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Ms. Coleman, there are a set of initials AC that are placed on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
On the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The next box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have the discovery certification.
Oh, this.
Oh, here it is. Ms. Coleman, I also have another document here. This document is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Coleman, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I have just mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1?
Yes, Your Honor, state offer states 1.
Any objections?
No objections.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Reynolds, you've advised and counseled Ms. Coleman. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None to my knowledge.
Ms. Coleman, your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for defendant's plea of guilty in this case, the state is recommending that the court defer adjudicating guilt at this time and instead place the defendant on community supervision for a period of 1 year, Your Honor, and require the defendant to pay a $250 fine to complete 50 hours of community service and to complete a deaf class.
Okay, Ms. Coleman, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During this 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $250 plus court costs. The total fine and court costs is $552. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll also be required to reimburse Jefferson County for the court-appointed attorney's fee, for the court-appointed attorney fees of $250. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $150. Ms. Coleman, will you be able to pay the $150 each month? You will also be required to perform 50 hours of community service, attend and complete a deaf class as a condition of your probation, and you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Ms. Coleman, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Ms. Coleman, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Coleman, if you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent on those matters. Ms. Coleman, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Your Honor, good morning.
Good morning.
Your Honor, I'm here for my partner, Ricardo Ramos, on a case for Roberto Alfaro.
Yeah, Mr. Alfaro, is he gonna appear by Zoom? Because he's not here.
Judge, I have no contact. Our firm has no contact with Mr. Alfaro. We believe we know he has an active warrant out of Bear County, Judge, and I think that's the reason why he is absconding at this point, Judge. I have done the diligence of trying to work it out with the prosecutor, Judge, and we do have an offer that I think is more than fair for Mr. Alfaro, but unfortunately, I don't have contact with him at this time.
Did you call the name of Ricardo Alfaro? Okay, this is cause number 320-880. Case is filed in the state of Texas versus Roberto Abraham Alfaro. Roberto Alfaro is scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's motion to revoke probation docket. At or about 9 a.m., the bailiff called the name of Roberto Alfaro. Roberto Alfaro did not answer when his name was called at the courthouse door by the court's bailiff. Mr. Alfaro has not appeared in court, nor has he appeared on Zoom or by telephone in the court. Let's see. Mr. Alfaro is represented by Ricardo Ramos. However, Attorney Ramos is not present. Appearing for Mr. Ramos is Attorney Efren Torres Jr. who is
Correct, Judge. I'm his law partner. It's our firm.
Okay. And Mr. Alfaro's name was just called again at 10:21 a.m. on the day's date of December 2nd of 2022. He did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Alfaro an opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor, statement for bond forfeiture.
That motion will be granted. Roberto Alfaro's bond will be forfeited and a warrant shall be issued for his arrest. Mr. Torres, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Likewise, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, you up. Quenisha Gray. Would you please come forward? Hold on a minute, I gotta get a prosecutor. Okay, you need to make a statement on the record, off the record?
I don't need a record. I just want the court to be informed that she resides in Orange County.
Okay.
And just to make a notation of her. Or
Oh, she has to tell it.
I just didn't want her to be restricted in Jefferson County.
She'll inform the probation officer. Okay, this is cause number 332-552. Case is filed in the state of Texas versus Quenisha Gray. Ms. Gray, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gray, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Gray, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gray, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Gray?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Alex. Ms. Gray, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds, do you waive a record in Ms. Gray's case?
So waived, Jerry.
Ms. Gray, I have before me a document that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This document is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about April 1st of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Ms. Gray, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Ms. Gray, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are actually guilty?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gray, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Ms. Gray, there are a set of initials, MG, that are placed on a line next to a document, next to a statement that has a box checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, Ms. Gray, It's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Mhm.
The second box check states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Mhm.
Do we have a discovery? Okay. I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, Ms. Gray, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, go over these documents with you?
Yes, we did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir. I did.
Okay, you have some tissue. And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Mhm.
Ms. Gray, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me states exhibit number 1. The misdemeanor plea admonishment state, would you like to offer states exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor, state offer 6-1.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Reynolds, you've advised that counsel, Ms. Gray, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None to my knowledge. Yes.
Ms. Gray, your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Ms. Gray, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do you have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for defendant's plea of guilty in this case, the state is recommending that the court defer adjudicating guilt at this time and instead place Ms. Gray on on community supervision for 1 year, Your Honor. Require Ms. Gray to pay a $250 fine to complete 50 hours of community service and complete a death penalty.
Okay, Ms. Gray. The state is offering that you serve 1 year of deferred adjudicated probation. During this probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $250 plus court costs. The total fine and court cost is $607. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll also be required to pay an attorney's court to reimburse Jefferson County for the court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $155 a month. Ms. Gray, will you be able to pay the $155 each month?
I should be able to.
You will? Okay. Now, Ms. Gray, you also be required to perform 50 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend and complete a deaf class as a condition of your probation. And you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Now, Ms. Gray, if you successfully complete this deferred probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. Ms. Gray, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
Do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gray, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement. I will defer a finding of guilt and follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Gray, you're gonna stand on the X. Next to your attorney, and gonna follow the recommendations of our court clerk. Ms. Gray, as I stated, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed, will not result in a conviction on your record, you may qualify for non-disclosure. And you can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters.
Actually, you're right. And then the police- Right there in front of you, you won't be able to see it. Raise your right hand. You swear that you never reported and given the first education or regular relations or felony or misdemeanor or misdemeanor in any other state, and you further swear nothing else is pending. You can sign now. And so the directions of probation when you're on top, you need to go over there this morning and it's your probation document.
Sure.
Sir?
She signed on.
Yes.
And Mr. Reynolds, I think this is your last case.
Yes, sir, Judge.
You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you so much.
Who's let me. Okay. This is cause number three cases. Cause numbers 332-632, cause number 332-634, cause number 333-288. All three cases are styled the state of Texas versus Michael A. Hawkins. Ms. Hawkins, Mr. Hawkins, is that your full name, Michael Andre Hawkins?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Hawkins, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Hawkins, you're here represented by your attorney Marcus Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you.
Attorney Wilkerson, Mr. Hawkins' cases are on the court's announcement docket. What is your announcement of Mr. Hawkins' cases?
Your Honor, we would ask for one standard 30-day reset in this case. I had the opportunity to discuss the case some with one of the state's prosecutors, but that was before it was determined that Mr. Hawkins was present. And so this has been my first opportunity to discuss any of Mr. Hawkins' discovery with him. So I would simply ask that he make an appointment with my office and.
Can you give us a standard reset? You got a January date?
We could do January 6th.
Okay, this case is gonna be reset to January 6th of 2023. Mr. Hawkins, your attorney will be given a copy of your reset. And once you get a copy of your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please stand on the X next to your attorney. He's gonna sign for your reset. Okay, and Mr.
I have one. Additional.
Okay, you have one more. Okay, Mr. Hawkins, once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Collins is back, and I think Boudreaux. He said he contacted his client. Who else we got? Oh, we got. Get Mr. Wilkerson's other client. Ms. Thomas, you can come forward. Okay, this is cause number 331-558. Case is style of state of Texas versus Ariana Dominique Thomas, Demonique Thomas. Ms. Thomas, is that your full name? How you doing, Ms. Thomas?
Good.
That's good, Ms. Thomas. You're represented in this case by your attorney, Attorney Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson, what is your announcement in Ms. Thomas's case?
Your Honor, after discussions with one of the state's assistant district attorneys, we believe this case would be a perfect case for pretrial diversion. And so we're going to ask for reset such that we can get that request submitted and hopefully get her signed up for that. I'd ask for
February, second week of February. Okay, Ms. Thomas, your case will be reset. You're gonna get a copy of your reset from your attorney. Once you get a copy of your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Stay in contact with your bondsman and your attorney. And Mr. Wilkerson, you can stand over in front of our court coordinator and sign for your reset.
Yes, Your Honor.
What date is that?
February 6th.
Okay, this case is reset to February 6th of 2023. To see if you can get accepted into the pretrial diversion program. All right. Ms. Wilkerson, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day once you sign.
Thank you, Your Honor, you as well, and I'll be sure to keep.
Okay. Okay. Sir, you're gonna have to go outside with that phone. You're not supposed to have, you need to turn your phone off. Who?
Mr. Aldean is here, Your Honor.
Okay. Court is in session in cause number 323-722, case of style of state of Texas versus Sherman Ozine III. Mr. Ozine, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Ozine, how are you doing? I'm blessed as well. Ms. Ozine, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Mark Faggart, Attorney Faggart. How are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you for asking.
Mr. Faggart, well, state, what is the recommendation in Mr. Ozine's motion to revoke probation case?
Your Honor, I think we're going to get this resolved in May until jail time. So we're asking for, if we could reset our motion until sometime in January.
Okay. Hold on a minute, she'll give us a reset date.
What's the January 13th?
January 13th. Okay, this case is reset to January 13th, 2023. Shall I label it as a plea? Well, what is
We're
it?
working on it. I would say that.
Yeah, we're working.
Okay. Okay, this case is reset to January 13th, 2023. Mr. Ozine, your attorney is going to sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Faggart, sign for your reset. Once you sign for your reset, you'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day. Timothy Haynes. What's this? This is cause numbers rather, 322-826 and cause number 323-294. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Timothy Joseph Haynes. Mr. Haynes, is that your full name?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, Mr. Haynes, I have before me, in each case, I have a motion to revoke your probation. In cause number 322-826, I have a motion to revoke the probation that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office on October 24th of 2022. In this motion, it alleges that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, was tried on May 16th of 2022 for the offense of driving while intoxicated. And on that date, you were found guilty and your punishment was assessed at 90 days confinement in the Jefferson County Jail and a fine of $700. However, your probation, your confinement was probated for a period of 12 months. In this motion, there are 6 allegations. First allegation alleged that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office as ordered by the court for the months of August, September 2022, as directed in violation of condition 4 of your probation order. Condition number 2 alleged that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, failed to pay court assessed fees as ordered by the court. And as of October 20, 2022, you was $502 in arrears in violation of condition 8 of your probation order. Allegation number 3 alleges that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, failed to abstain from the use or possession of drugs except those taken or possessed under doctor's orders as ordered by the court, in that on or about October 11 of 2022, you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, provided a urine sample for a scientific analysis that showed the presence of the metabolic byproducts of cocaine in violation of condition 12 of your probation order. Allegation number 4 alleged that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, has failed to complete the Texas DWI education program as ordered by the court in violation of condition 14 of your probation order. And allegation number 5 alleges that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, has failed to submit to an alcohol drug screening on September 12th of 2022 and October 7th of 2022 as ordered by the court in violation of condition 17 of your probation order. And condition number 6 alleged that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, failed to perform community service required as ordered by the court in violation of condition 18 of your probation order. Now, Mr. Haynes, if the court finds any one of these allegations to be true, you can be sentenced up to 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Now, next motion I have to revoke the probation is in clause number 323294, and in this motion, it alleges that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, was tried on May 16 of 2022 for the offense possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2A, a misdemeanor, and you were found guilty and your punishment was assessed at 90 days confinement in the Jefferson County Jail, a fine up to $700. The confinement was probated for a period of 12 months. You were placed on probation for 12 months. This motion alleges 5 allegations. First allegation alleges that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office as ordered by the court for the months of August and September of 2022 as directed in violation of condition 4 of your probation order. Condition number 2 alleges that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, failed to pay court assessed fees as ordered by the court, and as of October 20 to 2022, you were $420 in arrears in violation of condition number 8 of your probation order. Allegation number 3 alleges that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, failed to abstain from the use or possession of any drugs except those taken or possessed under doctor's orders as ordered by the court, in that on or about October 11 of 2022, that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, provided a urine specimen or urine sample for a scientific analysis that showed the presence of the metabolic products of cocaine in violation of condition 12 of your probation order. This motion has 2 number 4s. The first number 4 alleges that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, failed to perform the community service hours required as ordered by the court in violation of condition 14 of your probation officer. The second number 4 allegation alleges that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, has failed to complete the Texas DWI education program as ordered by the court in violation of condition 15 of your probation order. And condition number 5 alleges that you, Timothy Joseph Haynes, has failed to submit to alcohol drug screening on September 12th of 2022 and October 17th of 2022 as ordered by the court in violation of your probation condition number 17 in your probation order. Now, Mr. Haynes, if the court finds that one of these allegations is true, you can be sentenced up to 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that? Now, Mr. Haynes, you have before, does he have a judge's explanation of rights to defendants before him? Now, Mr. Haynes, you have before your judge's explanation of rights to defendants without attorney. As a defendant in a criminal case, you have 3 options regarding your right to have an attorney. Number 1, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option?
Yes.
Number 2, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that option?
Yes.
Number 3, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that option?
Yes.
Now, if you want an attorney to represent you and have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have the money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. At the bottom of that document, it states, defendant's choice, mark initials next to only one choice. Now, if your choice is, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney, you'll place your initials on the first line to the left. If you have already hired an attorney to represent you in this case, you'll place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to apply for court-appointed counsel, then you will place your initials on the third line to the left. If you have already been appointed a court-appointed attorney in this case, then you will place your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself, then you'll place your initials on the fifth line to the left. Now, once you have finished initialing one of the 5 lines, you will sign on the bottom of that line where it says defendant, your name, and you will date it today's date, December 2nd of 2022. Mr. Haynes, do you understand?
I do have a question, if I may.
About your right to have an attorney?
Yes, sir. If I choose to represent myself, do I have the option to go back?
Okay, look at that last paragraph in this judge's explanation. It says, if you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you can make your choice. Okay, let me see what it's. Okay, you have to put your initials on that. Thank you. You checked
Awesome.
that line. Okay. Now, he need a waiver. Should be a waiver of Now, Mr. Haynes, the first document that you signed, judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney, you place your initials on line number 5, which states, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself. Is that correct? Now, on the next document is titled Waiver of Counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or plea. Now on that first document, let me see, that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. The first document, and it's the third paragraph, where it says you may not speak to the prosecutor. You see that? It says you may not speak to the prosecutor unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. The second document that you have is the written waiver of your right, and it's titled Waiver of Counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial. And I'm going to go over this document with you. And it reads, I have been advised of the nature and charges against me and the dangers and disadvantages of self-representation. My waiver is voluntarily and intelligently made. Furthermore, I have been advised this second day of December of 2022 by the county court at law number 2 of my right to representation by counsel in the case pending against me. I have been fully advised that if I am unable to afford counsel, one will be appointed for me free of charge. Understanding my right to have counsel appointed to me free of charge if I'm not financially able to employ counsel, I wish to waive that right and request the court to proceed with my case without an attorney being appointed to represent me. I hereby waive my right to counsel. And what waiving your right is, you giving up your right to have an attorney. Now, if that's your choice, you're going to sign on the line where it says defendant, and you would date it today's date, December 2nd, 2022. Okay, let me see that document. Now, Mr. Haynes, I have before me these two documents, judge's explanation of rights of defense without attorney and a waiver of counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea. The first document, the judge's explanation of rights of defense without attorney, is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
It is.
Or these your initials on the line that's titled, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself?
It is.
And on the waiver of counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial, is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Haynes, just have a seat, and you'll have an opportunity to talk to the prosecutors in a few minutes. Hold on a minute.
John Helm.
Let me turn off the mic. This is cause number 332652. Case is filed in state of Texas versus Iana Randall. How you doing, Ms. Randall? That's good, Ms. Randall. You're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Bruce Cobb. Attorney Cobb, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Your Honor.
That's good. Now, Mr. Cobb,
Yes, sure.
the state has filed a motion to dismiss Ms. Randall's case. Is that correct, state?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Randall, the state has filed a motion to dismiss your case. I've just signed that motion. Your attorney is going to get a copy of that motion in about a minute. Once you get a copy of that motion, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Well, if you're gonna say something, you probably need to talk to your attorney first.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, just stand over there.
Yeah.
Collins. Who's that? That's Don Boudreaux's case. Yeah, dismissed pursuant to chapter. They say somebody in light of the evidence in the charging document or whatever. No, that's talking about, yeah. See what Mr. Boudreaux is. I know, but she had called his office. Yes, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day. Just hold on a minute. Court will be in recess. Yeah, you can get a copy of the dismissal from our court coordinator. Once you get a dismissal, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay, yeah, you can, yeah, you're free to go. That door right there is locked. Yeah, you go through that other one. Jefferson County Court, law number 2 is back in session in 2 cases. First case is file number 326-996. Second case is file number 332-430. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Glenn Paul Ballard. Mr. Ballard, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Ballard?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking, Mr. Ballard. You're represented by your attorney Langston Adams. Mr. Adams, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge.
Mr. Adams, what is your announcement in Mr. Ballard's cases?
Judge, on Mr. Ballard's cases, I have requested discovery, I got discovery, and I got a DVD. I wanted to be able to see his DVD first come to my office.
Okay,
So I just want one reset so we can look at his DVD.
okay, how much time do you need?
Your normal reset.
Give us a standard reset.
January 13th.
Okay, this case was reset to January 13 of 2022. Mr. Ballard, your attorney is going to sign for your reset. Once you get your resets, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
You have a great-
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Adams. Please sign for his resets. John Hamilton. This is cause number 332-292. Case is styled the state of Texas versus John Hamilton of John Charles Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hamilton, you're represented in this case by your attorney Langston Adams. Mr. Adams, what's your announcement in Mr. Hamilton's case?
Judge, in this one, I'm gonna need a lot more time than you normally do for your reset. And the reason being is if you take a look at that.
I thought he had a JP reduction. I got JP reduction out there.
Dismissed.
Huh?
Yeah, I said dismissed.
That's what it says here. It says JP reduction on the docket sheet.
That's what I was saying.
Did you pay the JP reduction?
I told you, I paid that the same day. You said you get the file with the paper or something.
Oh, they have to verify.
You sure you paid?
Did he pay a JP reduction? Where did you pay it?
You told me, I didn't know. You told me you're a $500 fine. I said, I mean.
No. What did you listen to this? I think what you're trying to say is that was the JP reduction a $500 fine plus court cost?
I'm checking right now. You said you dismissed.
And then it's gonna be dismissed. But what happens on a JP reduction, your attorney can explain it to you. You have to go to a JP court that they tell you to go, but just hold on. He's checking right now, the prosecutor. That's what I have on the docket. She's JP reduction. I don't know.
You better know it. I thought, I didn't realize.
That's what's noted. I don't know. Let's find. Now, your case is gonna be reset. It's gonna be reset for you to talk to Mr. Coleman and now if Mr. Coleman verifies that it was a JP reduction, then the case is gonna be filed, and then y'all gonna contact Mr. Adams,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay? So just bear with us. It, the message wasn't passed on, okay? So I understand, but Tommy is not here today. Oh, he's next door?
I'm not sure if he's next door, but I saw him today, but I'm not sure what they have going on next door.
You
still gotta get it filed.
That's true. Yeah. Then he may be filed. I don't know. We don't know. Thanks.
Somebody must have.
Did you, had you seen Tommy today?
I haven't
Next
talked to
door?
him at all today.
Okay, so let's give him a standard reset so we won't be able to, so we can get the ball rolling on this. Just give us a 30-day.
Yeah, that's cool.
January 13th.
Was that the January 13th?
I got the other one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we need to make sure you make some notes in the
So
code.
you're gonna put a note on there about the JP reduction on the file?
They need to, well,
It's already in our.
it's already on the docket sheet.
We got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So make sure that we,
That's all they gotta do. is
you
just-
put some notes in the file so that if you're not here, they transfer you or whatever, the next prosecutor will be able to,
Just follow it down there. I was gonna pay it before then. I don't know how fast it is. How fast it is.
oh, it's just the secretary is gonna file a JP reduction. Now, it don't take long.
Okay,
That's what normally happens.
yes, sir.
And then, yeah, they call it, they call it in downstairs, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah, but, we'll reset it, you said January 13th?
And hopefully, once it gets okay, you can have it paid before then.
Yeah, if it's paid,
We're gonna pay.
Okay. okay,
It's gonna be downstairs.
so you just have to stay in contact with the prosecutors. Okay?
Be all right.
I say,
You said,
Yeah, your attorney will stay in contact with the prosecutor, he'll let you know. Okay, so, Mr. Adams, you can get your reset for Mr. Hamilton. And Mr. Hamilton, once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
all right.
Mr. Adams has another case.
There's no client not here.
Okay.
Broussard,
I don't lease.
Chastity Broussard,
Right, I don't believe she's here.
okay.
I call.
Okay, this is cause number 332-864, case of style of state of Texas versus Chastity, is that Shane Broussard? Ms. Broussard was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's announcement docket at about 9 a.m. The court's bailiff called the name of Chastity Broussard. Chastity Broussard's name was called at the courthouse door. Chastity Broussard did not answer. Chastity Broussard has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. Chastity Broussard's attorney Langston Adams, is in court. And the bailiff just called Ms. Broussard's name again at the courthouse door. Just confirm that. Mr. Who? Yeah, he said resets his case, he's in front.
Got you.
I know, Mr. Porter, would you please call the name of Chastity Broussard at the courthouse door?
Yeah, another one that's pro safety general.
Who's that? That's, no, that is Chastity Broussard. Okay, Chastity Broussard, name was just called at the courthouse door at 11:15 a.m. Chastity Broussard did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Ms. Broussard an opportunity to appear in court. She has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor, stay moved to bond.
That motion will be granted. Chastity Broussard's bond will be forfeited and warrant shall be issued for arrest in cause number 332-846. And Mr. Adams, is that your last case?
That's it. Thank
Mr.
you.
Adams, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
All right, I'll see y'all soon.
Okay.
All right.
Hold on a minute. we allow you to appear in person by Zoom or by telephone.
Yes, sir.
If you don't have Zoom, you can appear by telephone. So
Yes, sir.
you don't have to, if you can't appear in person, you can appear by Zoom.
Nah, I'd rather be down here. I always like to.
I understand. You're old
Make the whole
school.
trip. Yes, sir.
All right. Now, let's see. This is cause number 321-908-2. Case style State of Texas versus Isaiah. Is that Kyrie?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kyrie Membrace.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Membrace?
I'm doing fine. And you, Your Honor?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Membrace, you're here represented by your attorney Samuel Millich II. And Mr. Millich, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge.
Okay,
I'm doing well.
that's good. Nice seeing you. Now, Mr. Membrace's case is on the court's motion to revoke probation docket. State, what, y'all have a recommendation?
Revoke, sir.
Revocation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Millich Estate is pursuing a revocation. In this case, we can give you an opportunity, since this is your first setting, we normally reset it at least a minimum of 60 days to give you an opportunity to get discovery, talk to the prosecutor on the case.
That'll be fine. I believe counsel and I have had one conversation. Since then, I haven't received any discovery, but just so I can know the procedure as far as getting a bond form at the time, which we did get, and then also familiarizing myself with his probation officer, Ms. Hunter, who I've spoken with to see what we can do to try to rectify this so we can maybe persuade them to not revoke. So if I could get that time, Judge, I think we can work this out and move forward.
Okay. Now give us a date, minimum 60 days. This is first setting.
January 27th.
Now, let me check that because
Okay.
I do believe I may be in a federal trial out in the Western District.
Okay, that's fine.
So I want to be able to devote my full attention to this.
Okay.
Say January 27th.
Yes.
Could we go out a little bit further? in
That's fine.
February?
That's fine.
February 10th to 17th.
Tell you what, let's do. How about we do the 10th? I think the 10th would be good. So I should be done.
You say what, February 10th?
Yes.
That would be at 9 o'clock as always, Judge.
Yes. February 10th, 2023. We'll be on our motion to revoke probation docket. Dang, this is, let's see. That's gonna be February 10th, 2023? Okay. Mr. Member, you're gonna get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. And you have a Court is back in session. And cause number 326-226, case of style of state of Texas versus Kalen Daly. Kalen Daly was scheduled to be in court this morning for the court's motion to revoke probation document, which is scheduled at 9 a.m. on today's date of December 2nd of 2022. At about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Kalen Davis at the courthouse door. Kalen Davis did not answer. Kalen Davis has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 11:31 a.m. on today's date. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Kalen Daly at the courthouse door? Kalen Daly's name was just called again at the courthouse door. Kalen Daly did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Ms. Daly an opportunity to appear in court. She has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor. They move the bond.
That motion will be granted. Kalen Davis bond will be forfeited and warrant should be issued for arrest in cause number 326-226. Next case. Let's see. Okay, next case is cause number 332-618. Case of style of state of Texas versus John Gabriel Singletary. John Singletary was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. For the court's announcement docket. At or about 9 a.m., John Singletary's name was called at the courthouse door. John Singletary did not answer. John Singletary has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 11:32 a.m. on today's date. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of John Singletary at the courthouse door? John Singletary's name was just called again at the courthouse door. John Singletary did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Singletary an opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court. State, do we have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor. They move the bond.
That motion will be granted. John Singletary's bond will be forfeited and warrant should be issued for his arrest in cause number 332-618. And this will conclude the calling of the court's announcement docket and the motion to revoke probation docket scheduled for 9 a.m. on today's date of December 2nd of 2022 in County Court at Law Number 2, Judge Terrence Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day.